Oh, hello, Muse here with this little follow-up video I promised you when I talked about the worst songs of 2016 in no particular order, because I stopped doing countdowns for the end of the year shit because it's just more fun that way. So what I said at the end of that video was if there were any songs that I left out that you wanted me to talk about in a follow-up, i.e. this very video, leave it in the comments and I would jot down which songs got mentioned the most. And I narrowed it down to 5. And we're gonna start with the one that got the least amount of mentions, but holy fuck, I just listened to it. No way. I'm only gonna assume that more people didn't mention it because a lot of people haven't heard it, which in 2017, or 2016 rather, isn't that much of a surprise for Weezer. But, wow. Thank God for Girls. That could be one of the worst songs I've heard in months. Like, spanning every possible genre. My God. I haven't really been paying attention to Weezer. And wow, I have not been missing much. At all. That's, I'm torn because I never want to poo-poo an artist when they go in a different direction or change their style up in any specific way, because it's like, you know, it's their thing. I wouldn't want people telling me how to make my videos, so I don't want to tell Weezer how to write their songs, but wow, I mean, it ain't good, bruh. It ain't good. So I don't want to sound like an old-fashioned fogey, a stick in the mud, a fucking curmudgeon, some stubborn asshole. But Blue Album, Pinkerton, you don't get much better than that. And in my opinion, since Pinkerton, the albums have been getting worse exponentially, just been a steady decline. And after this, from this last album, I think I only heard maybe 3 singles off of it, and I didn't like any. And I didn't expect to like any. But there it is. I remember this used to be a thing where before the actual video would be released, they would make a lyric video where it's normally like the people who make lyric videos on YouTube already, where it's just like a static black or static background and the lyrics just kind of appear on screen. After a while though, they started to kind of make them more like music videos themselves. I remember the lyric video for Roar by Katy Perry was like made up of emojis, and even then, that was even kind of cheating because half the words were replaced by emojis, so it's not even really a literal lyric video. But that brings me to this one. So, because the song, Thank God for Girls, mentions cannolis a couple times, in the first verse, this lyric video takes place where this woman is force-feeding this man cannolis. And then he just got a pyramid of cannolis in front of him. It's random. It's lol to random. It's not random in a good artistic way like an old David Lynch student art film, but more or less like an Old Spice commercial, where you can tell they're just trying to be random and out there for laughs. And it didn't work. And the lyric video itself didn't work, seeing as how they only show you about 30% of the words. It's like a couple of words from every other line. That's not a lyric video. The hell's the point of that? Why would you even post anything? Why would you post any video for it? Why did they make an official video for it? Did they think it was actually gonna be a hit? Did they think Thank God for Girls was gonna be a big smash hit? It'd be the next Hash Pipe. It'd be the next Sweater Song. The next Buddy Holly. The next Pork and Beans. Remember Pork and Beans? Where the whole gimmick was, you got YouTube stars from the time in the video, dating the video substantially so it just looks like 2007. It's like, it was the YouTube year in review video before they made year in review videos. So now, you got the Damn Daniel guy and other people who made their big break on Vine, not even YouTube, on screen for a few seconds, You got the slow-mo guys in there for a fraction of a second. Then the rest of it is like parodying music videos like Cake by the Ocean or whatever. But I remember back in the day, it was like, yeah, here's our 10 most viewed videos. Here they are. Here's little samples of all of them. What a year it was. And that's what you got with Pork and Beans. With Pork and Beans, it was like, hey look, you love Charlie the Unicorn, right? Now, what if Charlie the Unicorn was right there next to the sneezing panda, and then the girl with the rainbow socks is there, and Chris Crocker is there? Was Fred there? If Fred wasn't in that video, that's a huge missed opportunity. That really is just like, you couldn't get the top tier. You could only get down here. It's like, oh man, we couldn't get Fred, but we got Shane Dawson. That accounts for something, right? Here's Onision. Was he a thing in 2007? I don't fucking know. See, I'm spending more time on this song. I'm not even spending time on this song. I'm talking about Pork and Beans. Jesus Christ. Weezer, what happened? What the fuck happened? The next song we got is Closer by the Chainsmokers, featuring someone. I don't remember. Does it matter? Probably not. You can't even tell half of these radio singers apart anymore. It could be anybody. So I'm just gonna assume it was anybody. I'm just gonna assume it was one of those voices generated in a computer that can solve math problems or prove that it isn't a robot. Have you seen that? The robot that can prove that it isn't a robot? Wild stuff. Anyway, Closer by the Chainsmokers. I wouldn't have considered that a worst song of the year. That's why I didn't include it in the video. To be honest, I don't mind it. But it did get annoying. I almost wrote about it a little bit, but then I decided like it didn't go anywhere. So here I am just to ramble about it and for it to not go anywhere. So, when it comes to songs that are duos with producers, I liked Closer more than I Hate You, I Love You, but there aren't many songs I like less than I Hate You, I Love You, except for, perhaps, Thank God for Girls. Man, if I would have heard that song, it probably would have been in the video. Man, that's what I get for not paying attention to rock radio anymore. I just imagine it's a fucking barren wasteland, and for the most part, I'm right. Let's be honest. If you want any worthwhile rock you can't even listen to the radio for, you gotta go out and actively find it yourself. Scout it out on Spotify or Bandcamp. Does anyone browse Bandcamp anymore? Do yourself a favor, browse Bandcamp for a while. So what we got with Closer by the Chainsmokers featuring Who the Fuck Knows, Who the Fuck Cares. And it's a shame because the female vocalist is the best part of the song. I thought she did an alright job. The music over the chorus, the beat, I like the beat. I like the writing of the chorus, where like it's a whole big run-on sentence that really tells you a lot about what's going on. It gives you more of a picture than most pop songs do. So you got this picture of that these people used to be in a relationship, I guess. Then they split up, I guess. You don't know why. They don't really go into it. They move away, and this person steals a mattress from a roommate, and she drives a Land Rover or a Range Rover. How'd I end up with this? How did she end up with the Range Rover if she couldn't afford it? That's a question. You just throwing words together that vaguely rhyme? Rover and Dover rhyme, but neither rhyme with Closer. Just figured you should know that. And older doesn't rhyme with anything. But that's neither here nor there. What annoys me about the song, and this is a tiny nitpick, that the first singer who is part of the Chainsmokers, who holy fuck is just the most dull. Like, what the fuck is he even doing here? I don't get why any of these producers think they should be involved in any capacity. I don't know if Calvin Harris ever sang on a track, but he shouldn't. You don't hear DJ Khaled doing his own verses, do you? He just chimes in with a little interjection every so often. So, my god, But what the main thing I don't like about it, see, I'm gonna compare it to the song Don't You Want Me by Human League. You know the song, you know it if you heard it. So, the whole verse is this guy who was in a relationship with the woman who you haven't been introduced to yet. And he talks about his side of the story. And in the second verse, she tells her side of the story. And they're kind of asking each other, don't you want me? Oh! But they have their own side of the story. They don't sing the same verse at each other. You know? That wouldn't make sense. They wouldn't have the same story. But why, if the guy is singing to the girl, you stole a mattress, you moved out, you have a car you can't afford, why would then the girl sing the exact same thing back to him? Unless it is that type of, unless that is what happened. You know? Like, they didn't realize that after they broke up, their lives completely went parallel. They had the exact same life experiences that brought them to the exact same, hotel, motel, bar. But you don't really get that in Closer. You don't get any closure from Closer. It just repeats itself over and over again. They meet up in a bar after years of not talking, and then what? We're never getting older. Alright. What does that have to do with anything? Let's talk about Work From Home, shall we? That got a lot of comments. So, Work From Home is the new single from Fifth Harmony. And it was when I really realized that, wow, maybe Camila Cabello had a point when she said, hey, I was feeling a little like, I was feeling overly sexualized in Fifth Harmony. And yeah, I can see what she was getting at. Like I said before about Fifth Harmony and Ariana Grande and Selena Gomez and Demi Lovato, if you want to be sexy in your songs, if you want to sing about sex, that's fine. But when it comes down to where you can tell that that's not really their intent, wasn't really their idea, and it's like, how did we get here? How did we get to a song about, I'm gonna send you dirty pictures while you're at work and get you fired? Like, what? And naturally, my biggest problem with the song is the high-pitched singing voices. I mean, that's a given, right? I almost wrote about it in the main review until I realized that Camila Cabello from the Machine Gun Kelly song was the same person who annoyed me in the Fifth Harmony Work From Home song. Because I wasn't aware of all the names of the people in Fifth Harmony, so I wasn't aware her name was Camila Cabello. But then after that, it felt redundant, so I was like, fuck it. I'm already talking about Camila Cabello and her dumb high-pitched voice. Why am I gonna talk about it here? I'm gonna sound like an asshole. So that's why I cut it out. Now you know the rest of the story. But yeah, the song sucks. Who's that guy? Ty Dolla $ign? Isn't he in that? He's doing that, I'm a rapper, but I'm also kinda singing. I don't know why he needs to be in there. It kind of feels weird. It feels weird in the sense that, like, you don't really know which girl in the group he's responding to. Like, is he just fucking all of them? Is that what I'm supposed to get from that? Or is he just, like, the embodiment of their fantasies? You know? It just feels weird to have a dude who's, like, completely unrelated to the whole situation. And now he's just in there. And you're not working from home, you're fucking pop singers. That's your job, right? And the video's weird, too. If I'm gonna talk about the video, I might as fucking well. Watch the making of the video where they're talking to Director X or whatever. His description of the plot of the video is genius. So, the song is about working. So, the video shows the girls, like, working. And because it's work from home, they're working on building a home. QJU On The Beach. I still don't know what that means. I don't really feel good saying it. I don't know if it's something I'm supposed to be saying. I didn't take time to look it up, and I'm not going to. So, QJU On The Beach was apparently a big thing. I never heard it before I saw it listed in the comments of the last video. I had no idea what the hell it was. I went a whole year not ever hearing it. At all. Not knowing what the fuck it was. So how did all of you hear it? Where was it getting radio play? Was it getting radio play? Was it just like an online thing? Like it was just big on YouTube? I mean, it's got a lot of views, but like nowhere near Salento Watch Me views. It has over like 1 billion views. So where was this? This is essentially the same thing. Which is why I don't hate it too much. Like, okay. It's a dumb pop, like, I wouldn't even call it a rap song. It's got a trap beat, but they're not really, well, I guess they are rapping part of it, but the other part is just saying things. And just kind of, like, like doing a weird voice for no reason. I don't know, is that a thing now? I hear Lil Uzi Vert do it. I think Lil Yachty did it. Like, I guess that's the thing now, to sound different. Just do a dumb voice. You know, right? Guess it's easy enough, right? It's better than putting in effort. I mean, it's original, I guess, you know? I can't complain too much. But, yeah, this doesn't really say anything. Doesn't say anything. It barely teaches you the dance. I don't even know if the dance in the video is original or not. Like, I remember in Salento, Watch Me, he just kind of listed off dances, but I knew most of the dances already existed. He didn't invent a new dance, he just invented the sequence in which to do other already existing dances. And I guess that's really what this one is too, because it mentions Running Man on that beat, and it's like, oh, okay, so you can get into this. But then for the rest of the video, you just see people doing random dances. What the fuck is you ugly, you your daddy's son have to do with anything? Why, if you're trying to teach somebody a dance, would you take time to stop and then insult their appearance? What makes you think they would continue to listen to your lesson on that dance? And not just say, fuck you, and punch you so hard and knock your fucking beads out of your hair? It could happen. I'd watch out who you're calling ugly. You could at least wait until the end of the lesson, couldn't you? Like, are you insulting their physical appearance? Or their dancing? Like, are you saying their dancing is ugly? Nothing in this video is original, not a single goddamn thing. You can run off the checklist. You've got most of the things you saw in the Salento Watch Me video. You got the young girl cheerleading squad showing up out of nowhere in full outfits with pom-poms in hand. You got the token white girl who whatever is in there, like trying to do the dance, not really getting it right, but you know, she's trying. She's in there. You've got a lot of the same things from the Sorry for Party Rocking music video. I know I referenced that in the last video too, but it can't be avoided, man. The video is almost beat for beat the same thing. You're moving in next door to the uppity, cranky white neighbors. They want you to keep your music down. They don't keep their music down. They call the police. The police show up. And they start dancing because they're in on it. But there needs to be that one split second of, oh no, are they here to actually bust us up? Of fucking course they're not. Every music video ends this exact same way. That one video where they did the reverse, where, what was it, Blake Shelton? Where all the uncool white kids were dancing to that shitty ass country song, and then the two black dudes in chains show up, and for a split second everyone's like, and then they start dancing and it's all cool. That's how it always goes. Never escalates. Except in the Knickers video by Jadena, where they actually do show up and fucking shoot fucking tear gas into the club, and they all put fucking gas masks on and keep dancing anyway. Fucking awesome video, awesome artist, can't wait for the album. This, on the other hand, I don't know, it's harmless. It's not trying to be anything it isn't, and it's not even 3 goddamn minutes. It's over before you know it. Oh, and here we go. Meghan Trainor. A lot of people, a lot of comments about Meghan Trainor. Some for no, some for me too. To the point where I really only wanted to talk about 5 songs, and I only counted 6. So I was like, alright, I got 2 Meghan Trainor songs. I'm not gonna talk about them both. So I posted a poll on Twitter asking which one people thought was worse. And it was almost like 30 to 60 people voted on Me Too over no. So, what's the story of Me Too? Meghan Trainor's looking in the mirror and she thinks she looks good. And she feels good about how she looks. That's really about it. I don't know really what's to hate about the song. Like, even in 2015 when I talked about Meghan Trainor, it wasn't even like, oh my god, her songs are awful. It was just, alright, we get it. Like, you're not really bringing anything new or exciting. You know, move along, please. But she didn't. She came out with a new album and a few new singles, No and Me Too. And for whatever reason, they got a lot of hate, and I'm really not seeing them. They're not great songs. I mean, trust me, they're not great. But both songs have decent messages that belong on the radio and that, you know, should be out there more. On one hand, you got the, I don't need a man, I'm cool on my own, fuck you, leave me alone. That's cool. And on the other hand, you got, you know, I don't care what you think of the way I look, I'm happy with the way I look. Isn't that kind of what you've come to expect with Meghan Trainor when her first single was all about that bass? She kind of let you know up front that's what her whole gimmick is gonna be. I don't understand how you can hate on either song, honestly. Like, they're harmless, they're not terrible, they don't really take themselves too seriously, they're both kind of goofy. Me Too, much more than No. Maybe that's why people didn't like it, maybe that's why people voted on Me Too over No. The only thing I thought was weird about Me Too was that it was almost like I look so good, and it was almost like an I look better than you type thing where it was like almost putting herself on a higher pedestal than everybody else. But I mean, if that's what it comes down to, you kind of have to, right? Isn't that really what it's about? You gotta boost yourself up. You know, you can't think you look amazing and at the same time think you look as good as everyone else and everybody else is on the same level. No. That's kind of what the whole self-esteem thing is about. You gotta think you look better. Or else, you know, you think you look average, and that's not the point of the song. She's flossing. She got the fucking jewelry. She's looking in the mirror, she's looking good, she feels good. It's not fucking Good as Hell by Lizzo, but what can be? The fucking EP is solid. Every song on that EP is solid. You should be listening to Lizzo. Not so much Meghan Trainor, but I don't get the hate she's been receiving either. I say, leave her alone, just listen to whatever else, and she'll fade away on her own. She kind of already has. So, those are the 5 most commented on songs I got in the comment section of the last video for the songs that the people who watched the last video thought the worst songs of 2016 were. And those are my thoughts on them. I didn't exactly agree with all of them, but, you know, I didn't think I was going to. As soon as I saw people say shit about Meghan Trainor or people saying, oh, you gotta talk about Ariana Grande, it's like, no. I liked all of Ariana Grande's singles, so I wasn't gonna come on here and start bashing those. But QJU On The Beach? Sure. Work From Home? Yeah. Fucking Thank God for Girls? Jesus. This whole video just could have been on that fucking song alone. So, before I get out of here, I just gotta thank you guys for watching this video and the last video. If you aren't already subscribed to the channel, please make sure to do so. Leave us a like, leave us an additional comment on this video if you feel so inclined, and if you want to help us out even more, head on over to patreon.com/muse, where monthly pledges as low as $1 get you exclusive access to bonus audio and video content. Check that out. Once again, it's patreon.com/muse. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next installment of Muse Reviews.